Hi, it's Alaska Granny. It's a rainy day at Granny Camp, which is my remote Alaska off-grid cabin, but it's a great day to talk about all of the great prepping supplies that you can find at thrift stores. I was looking over a lot of the things that I have, and I thought I would share with you some of the bargains that I found at thrift stores that have made my life easier at a less expensive price, because I occasionally will go and dig through thrift stores and look for bargains. I don't necessarily go there with a list saying today I must find a thing. I will go through categories. First I'll go through the housewares. I look at things and think, how can I use those things? What can I do with it? Is there a way I can use this thing that would be kind of fun, interesting, or would be a very helpful item? Clothing, because it's always a great idea in Alaska to have an extra coat, pair of gloves, boots, and then I'll swing through the kids' clothes because I'm always looking for things for my little grandchildren. I circle through the books, I look over the shoes and boots, then I look through the items like camping gear, bedding, towels, and anything else I can find in an interesting category in a thrift store. If there's certain items you're looking for in thrift stores, first you want to actually have an idea how much things could cost. You don't want to pay an exorbitant price, say for camping gear or a cast iron pan, because you don't really know what those things cost. So proceed with caution with things that you're not familiar with until you know for sure if it's a great deal or not. All of these are items I've picked up at thrift stores. I've got lots more that I use all the time, but this is just an example of prepping categories that I thought I would share with you today to spark your imagination of what kind of things you could find at the thrift store and how it might help make your life easier and your prepping supply gear stockpile grow a little larger. First, I found this great big huge tote. It's so sturdy. It has a leather bottom. It has nice straps. It's super heavyweight, holds a big amount of stuff, and I can use it for going in and out of my home, out to my granny camp. There's all kinds of reasons you might want a very sturdy tote bag. I also got this gigantic duffel bag. It's great because it has nice big openings, sturdy straps. I can pack it for a camping trip. I can pack it to go to granny camp. I can load up soft clothes, winter clothes, even pack them away in the summer, or pack away summer clothes in the winter. It's easy to put things away in a soft-sided case. Duffels are also a great idea to have for your prepping needs. You can stock extra items in here that won't fit in your bug-out bag, and then if you're able to grab and go, say you're leaving in your car, you can grab your duffel and take it with you. Have a duffel bag full of canned foods. Have an extra layer of clothing. Extra amounts of prepping gear are great to have in sturdy tote bags or in a duffel bag set aside with your emergency gear. Head down the clothing aisle. Look for things like raincoats, jackets, sweaters, sweatshirts, waterproof gear. I found a jacket for $2. That's a Columbia jacket. It fits me great. You can find great deals on raincoats for kids, extra pairs of gloves, even bandanas. Look for warm pajamas for your little ones. Check over the feet, make sure they're not worn out, that the zippers work, and don't buy anything that's stained beyond belief. Here's a pair of fleece pajamas I got for my grandson. It was $1.99. He doesn't fit in it yet, but he will, and I'll have them for him when he gets to granny camp. So look over outer layers. I've also found great deals on long underwear or base layers to help keep you warm in cold weather. I found hiking boots for myself and rain boots for a little one. Look for oil lamps. I've seen them there many times. And also I have found little containers like this jar that is designed as a candle holder. I've never seen good deals on candles at thrift stores. I've always found brand new candles to be less expensive in the store than buying a used one at a thrift store. But looking for candle holders and different kinds of things that can hold maybe your solar light and anything you can find that is an oil lamp grab it because they're usually a good deal and they're super handy if you have a power outage or a grid down situation. Look for great deals on plates that you can put away with your camping gear, all kinds of kitchen utensils, even orphan silverware. It's nice to have a few extras to put away in your emergency gear, in your camping box, or in a to-go for an emergency kit, or stash them away for a picnic box. Look for can openers, spatulas, sharp knives, and indestructible plates and cups. If you can find a good deal on canning jars, pick them up. If you can find them for less than $1 a piece, that's usually a good deal. I always run my finger around the top to make sure there isn't any chip in it. Look it over, make sure it doesn't have any kind of a crackle in it, that maybe it's been used so many times that it's going to be weakened and not going to be as strong as you want. Try to find them with at least the ring, because then you can add a fresh lid and you can use them to store your dried foods or go ahead and can any foods that you want to process. Look for soft goods like kitchen towels, bath towels, pot holders. They're not going to be the nicest, newest things you want in your home, but they're great to put away with your camping gear, to have an extra somewhere in your emergency supplies, and just to have on hand if you're going to go cook outdoors in your backyard. It's great to find books. You can get all kinds, from children's books, novels, reference books, cookbooks. Even a few times I've seen emergency books. So look over the books and see if any of them hit the topic that you think could be something that's helpful to you. And then look over the book to see if it really is going to address what you think it is. Flip through a few pages, see if it's interesting, and take it home if it's just a few dollars. Sometimes you can find garden tools. I got this little shovel. I've also gotten some big garden tools, but you want to make sure that they're in good repair and that the handle is still safe to use and it hasn't been compromised so much that you're not going to find it useful. Lots of times people just move away, they give up gardening, they have too many, they move and can't use them anymore, and then you can get a good deal on a nice sturdy piece of gardening equipment. I'm always on the lookout for water storage containers. If I can find a sturdy Nalgene type bottle that's BPA free, that's made in the USA, I usually pick them up if they're $1.50 or less, because you can put them in the dishwasher, fill them up with your own water, and put it away. They're very sturdy containers, and you can then grab them if you're going out for a hike, if you're going camping. These are great containers to have to stay hydrated no matter what the situation. Look for sturdy cookware, something with an all-metal handle with a fitting lid. None of the coated stuff, because you might want to use this on your barbecue, in the fire, with your camp stove. You don't want to take a pot or a pan out camping or cooking in an emergency if it's something that's not up to the wear and tear, the rough and tumble of outdoor cooking. It's great when you can find cast iron cookware, but take a good look at how much they actually cost before you go shopping. I've seen them way more expensive in a thrift store than they cost if you buy them brand new. Don't worry if they have rust on them. There's easy ways to clean them. I'll put a link to a video on how to restore a cast iron cookware if you find some at a thrift store. One thing to be aware of though, you always want to set it down and make sure that it's flat. You don't want to buy it if it's warped. If the bottom is warped, it means somebody put it on a hot electric stove that ruined the pan, and then it's not going to sit flat. It's not going to cook the best that it can. It might still be okay if you stick it in a campfire, but wouldn't you rather find one that has not been damaged in any way? So you want to look it over carefully. Don't be afraid of rust or beat up looking, but you want it to be still sturdy and not warped in any way. I have lots and lots of cast iron cookware that I got at thrift stores, some that I bought brand new, and some that I've steered completely away from because it was warped or way overpriced. Just because something's at a thrift store does not mean that it's a bargain. Look for plastic storage containers to help you organize your supplies. Look over some of those like cookie tins, the ones that are metal containers with a tight fitting lid. You can use those to store things because they're going to protect them more than a plastic container. I've used them to store my seeds long term because it keeps them airtight and the moisture completely out. Granny Camp is more comfortable because I've been able to find some large storage containers. I've been able to find bookshelves for storing all my dishes and food. I got this great dresser for storing our clothes and other supplies. And up here in the top bunk, I was able to find an old sleeping bag that's real puffy that I use for a mattress. Then I got this great big soft fuzzy blanket, added with some flannel sheets, and it's a much more comfy bed. You can sleep right into the bed rather than just in a sleeping bag. I have some other sleeping bags. I see them at thrift stores. Open them up, look clear into the bottom where your feet go, make sure there's nothing weird in there, nothing's been chewed on, damaged, and if it's not still soft and fluffy and feels like the stuffing is all smooth and equal, then you probably want to pass it by. Sleeping bags don't have to be that expensive, that if you can't find that one that's a good quality at a reasonable price, that's the kind of thing that's better to find new. But you can find them at a good price if you look. So whether you're setting up an off-grid cabin, you're prepping for emergency situations to have the things that you need no matter what comes along, check out thrift stores, look for some of these different categories of supplies, and see if you can't find the things you need at a bargain price to help you be better prepared for whatever comes your way. If you liked my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else who might enjoy it. Learn more at alaskagranny.com, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.